Hi, Coach. Congrats on the win. Natalia Kuika has had two really good performances in her first two matches in the NWSL. We saw her versatility tonight as well, playing at fullback as well as center back. Could you talk about how she's adapted to the league and the impact she's made?
Yeah, sure. I think she's adapted quickly, and obviously testament to those two performances. But I think behind the scenes in practice, in training, she's physically done extremely well, and adapted to her new team environment and her new teammates particularly well. And I think that she brings a lot of quality in possession of the ball, and she's very calm, composed in terms of her distribution. But she's very tenacious and determined defensively. And I think we relied on some of her kind of aerial presence and disrupting the play and just and dealing with their threat particularly well. So yeah, strong performance for her. Really pleased for her, and I'm sure that'll give her a lot of confidence moving forward.
All right, next we have Paul Danzer.
Hey Rich, congrats. Talk about the goal and the long ball over the top from Sal, but was that something you wanted to see more of after halftime? Maybe a few more balls over the top to relieve pressure and use speed up top?
Yeah, I think without being too precise, it was more the threat of, I think, Morgan Weaver particularly caused a lot of problems in that second half, which we didn't manage to achieve in the first half. We didn't manage to get control of the game and play in those areas in the first half. We got a little bit stuck in our own defensive third, and didn't quite solve their pressure as effectively as we'd hoped. But that's where we're at, and we're trying to progress, and we're just going to try and keep making those smart decisions. And I think then in terms of particularly that pass from Celeste. That open space, it's a pretty big field here. We want to give our forwards that opportunity to get in behind and cause opponents a problem. And I thought Morgan, particularly in that second half, she had a few occasions where she was, against a very high level defender in Casey Kruger, caused them a lot of problems. And credit to her taking the goal extremely well. And that was a big momentum shift for us. So yeah, delighted.
All right, next we have Adam Luna of Area Sports Network.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. I have a question about Angela Salins. What do you think about her performance tonight, knowing that she was coming from an injury?
Yeah, it's been tough for Angela. She's had a frustrating preseason trying to return and get back on the field. She picked up a small injury early in the kind of first few weeks of her back in training. So it's just been a kind of slow start for her. But again, really pleased that she got on the field. And I thought she made a really strong contribution in a short space of time. And she was quite pivotal for us. Rocky played extremely well in that first half. Again, she's got a small problem. So we had to manage her minutes. And that was a planned substitution. Always, unfortunately, we had to take her off at half time. And then that meant that we had to start with Angela on the bench, and she came on in the second half. And I thought, she was dominant. She was very kind of tenacious defensively, disrupting the play, but then smart on the ball and helping us connect and build. And we got on the front foot defensively and offensively. So yeah, really pleased, and I think that will do her a world of good, and I think now she can really kick on and build off that.
Our last question will be coming from Caitlin Best.
Hi, Coach. Sort of two related questions. First, could you just give us sort of a status update on Emily Menges and Rocky Rodriguez, who both played a half tonight? One played a half, one played, 30 minutes, whatever. And then could you talk about what goes into the decision to start Rocky versus bringing her in at the half?
Yeah, we had a lot of dynamics that were kind of meant that we had to make decisions a certain way. So Emily Menges has had an injury, so she only had the opportunity to play a maximum of 20 minutes today. So we couldn't start her. So she came in to get some game time later in the game. So that was the decision around her. And pleased for her, she came in. She had quite a bit to do in a short space of time. So she made a good contribution. And then Rocky has had a strong performance last week, played the full game, and then just had a small issue all this week. So we've been unsure about Rocky. So with our kind of limited availability of a number of players, we had to start Rocky because we weren't 100% sure of her ability to continue, but we were fairly confident. So like I say, pleased for her. She's come through and it was a planned substitution at halftime. Before kickoff, she had to come off at halftime. She got through to halftime, so that meant that we could just make the straight swap with Angela Salem coming in.